All right, everybody say hi to Natalie. Hi, Natalie. Natalie be coming to us first next year. So, Natalie, I think you're coming from St. Joe's over in Holbrook, right? All right. Looks like you just finished pre-algebra. Did you do well? All right. So off to Algebra 1 with you. So some of our Algebra 1 folks, right? Got some new ones. I think Rocco's doing pre-algebra. Was Justin in your class, Natalie? So Justin will be going to pre-algebra 1 too. So Algebra 1 just gained 3 people. So, all right. Let's talk about summer work. Let me unpin you here so you're not up on top. Let's see, go to the gallery view. All right. Jason. All right. Let's take a look here. All right, summer work. You guys got a lot of summer work. I got nothing else to say. It's a lot of summer work, right? You really got to plan it out. I just spent a little time trying to plan it out for you. It's a lot of work, right? But it's the big push going to high school, right? It's getting you ready for that high school, being ready to be able to handle whatever they throw at you, wherever you want to go, right? Let's take a look. Let me share my screen with you. I'm recording right now. All right. That is not yours. There we go. Make this a little bigger for you. Everybody see that pretty well? It's still not right. Hold on there. Give me a second here. Didn't have the top piece right. All right, as you know, if you watched my video that I put together with all the details on how to log on to all these things, so Natalie, hopefully you got all your passwords and you're able to log everything on, right? Please let me know if you can't, right? So that was kind of yesterday, a little bit about Khan Academy and how it's changed a little bit and how we're looking at it this year, right? So for 8th grade incoming students, you have To Kill a Mockingbird by Harper Lee, and you have Flush by Carl Hyacin, right? You also have reading projects with both of those books. So you have 2 books, 2 reading projects, right? You got Khan Academy Math, right? Either you're doing the pre-algebra mission, so if you just left pre-algebra, you're taking the pre-algebra mission. So Natalie, you'll be doing the pre-algebra mission, right? And the rest of you are going to be doing the 7th grade mission. All right, so, and then some of you are going to take the HSPT or the SSAT, right? We'll talk about that a little deeper in. So those are 4 things that you have to do this summer. It's a lot, I'm telling you. I just looked at it. There's a lot of work, all right? So you need to organize yourself so you can do a little piece of this every day. Jason, Jaden, Marco, Liam. I go down the list. If you guys wait till the end of summer, you are not going to be able to finish this, right? And this is where you really need your grades. I just finished goal setting with most of you, right? And you all want to go to these Catholic schools or independent schools, right? You need to be able to you need to start the year off well, right? These 2 books, one's going to be a grade for English. The Flush is a grade for science, believe it or not. So those 2 projects are giving you an A in English already, an A in science, and the Khan Academy is going to give you an A in math to start off with, right? That's where you want to start next year. You want those grades going into 8th grade, going to those high schools, A's are better. And if you start the year off with an A, it's really going to be hard for you to bring it down. I'm telling you right now, I've done this a zillion times. Most kids that get an A over the summer, right? And they just roll right into it. And by the time they're sending your scores to your high school, you guys are already in great shape. You're all A's, right? You look solid. Even though you're finishing this year, some of you are finishing this year in the C range. I get it, and I understand it. But what they want to see is growth. Did you grow over the summer? Did you hit it hard in the fall? Are you ready for their high school, right? And that's what's important. That's why you need to hit summer work. I know where you guys are finishing this year, and some of you are being pulled to the finish line. Sure getting pulled to it, right? You can't do that with summer work. You can't do that with the first 2 quarters of next year, right? You really need to hit it hard. Can't stress it enough, right? So let's talk about Khan Academy. You have to do 50% more of the mission you've already done. And let's talk about that, right? So some of you have already started the missions. Believe it or not, you've already done it. So Tyler, you have to do 101% of the mission, right? Just because of the way you guys did your mission last year, you were already so advanced, it pushed you into pre-algebra, and that's why you're already ahead of the game, and you're already starting with a percentage. You didn't even realize you were doing advanced work last summer, right? So, Jason, you're at 13%. You need to do 63% for the summer, right? Emma Velasco, you have 34% now. At the end of the summer, you need to have 84%, right? Alana, you got to have 89%. That's how this is working. So these are your starting points, and you move on. Most of you have zeros, right? A lot of you have zeros. Caroline, you have 1%, right? Brianna, you have 15%. So you got to finish, Brianna, you have to finish at 65%, right? These mission numbers, where do they come from, right? So I'm going to bring up pre-algebra, right? Pre-algebra math, this is the main page, this isn't a unit page, this is the main page. Right, this number right here has to get to that value, whatever it is. If it's 65%, if it's 50%, whatever it is. So that's the number right there, right? So that's what pre-algebra would look like. If you're in 7th grade, it'll say 7th grade math here, and then it'll have its percentage, right? Just depends on which one you're in. I'll watch all your work. I can see everything. I'll show you what I see. I see this main page, and when I bring up your page, I can see what everyone's at. I can see what they're struggling with, right? How far they've gone, right? I can even dig in farther. I can actually see your activity, right? I can see how many minutes you spent, right? In the last 7 days. Let's go down here. Somebody's been working on this. Let's go to today. Who's working on today? So Tyler Lisco put in 20 minutes already. McKenna Devine already put an hour in, right? Emma Velasco's already done 5. So some of you have already jumped on and done some of this, getting ready for tomorrow's workload. So good for you guys, right? Let's go over to 7th grade. Here's my 7th grade. Let's see what their activity is, right? A bunch of you already jumped in there. Let's see. Jaden's already done 19 minutes, right? It's leveled up 8 times. Brianna's been in there, right? Peter, Natalia, you got 2 minutes. Peter, you need to do more than 2 minutes a day, right? Let's get back here. Who's that, Caroline?
Yes. Doesn't the work that we do today not count until summer?
Caroline, you're going to have to go text it in the notebook because your connection's pretty bad. Right? Let's see. All right. So again, 50% more than where you're at right now, and these are your baselines, right? This is where your baseline is. Let's see. Who did we just say worked on it? McKenna. She was at 39% when I took a snapshot at this, and where is she now? So McKenna went up 6 points already. She went up 6% in just a short period of time, right? So in a one-day session, she spent enough time to get up 6%, right? So again, it shouldn't be hard for you, but I say that, but there's a lot of other work to add into your day, all right? So let's see. Let's see what McKenna had, or doesn't the work not count until summer? It does. I'm going to give you these 3 days. I'm going to give you these 3 days, and then I'm going to start you again June 12th. All right? So I'm only counting these next 3 days. Even if you started today, I'll count today. I'll count these 4 days now, right? And then I'll start after June 12th. So you can bang out bang out probably an hour if you wanted to in the next 3 days, right? Get a jump start on it. And then I can parse all this around. So not supposed to start until, I'll start counting again June 12th. All right, let's take a look. Summer work, where'd we go? All right, so that's Khan Academy. Hopefully you understand that, right? The 2 books, Carl Hiaasen and To Kill a Mockingbird. One is science, the flush one, I think you saw an email from Mrs. Bowers today on this one, right? It's connection with oceans and pollution, and that's her book that she's given you for the summer. So that counts for a science grade. And To Kill a Mockingbird is the English version, that's the English, right? They're both requiring the same kind of projects though, all right? Give me 1 second to close the door. You got a newspaper article, right? So you're writing it as if it was the front page of a newspaper article, and all the details are in there, right? Highlighting the main events of the book, the main characters, the plot. You get that part. You got a book report, 1.5 pages types, kind of a similar book report that you've done, lays out all the details, right, of what's expected in there. The hardest one, and I don't suggest most of you doing this one, is this interview one, all right? You actually have to come up with an interview of questions you would ask an author, and then you have to fictitiously answer them yourself as if you're the author. That sounds pretty hard. And it's got to be 1.5 pages typed. That sounds pretty hard, right? It's there. It's probably my least likely that I'll see most of you guys do. There'll be a couple of you that probably try to do that. It's hard, right? You have to come up with the questions. You have to think about what the author would answer, and you have to make it 1.5 pages long typed. That's pretty tough. The poster. A lot of you are going to take the poster, but do a nice job with this. Joe, pay attention. The poster. A lot of you are going to do this poster, right? But there's a lot of detail she wants in this poster. It's just like for the science fair. She wants very specific things, so you have to put those in there. The poster must include a timeline of the key events, a collage of images. There's also needs to be a summary of the book, background on the author. Also, there needs to be a section on the poster displaying the major themes in the novel and how the themes are relevant to the world we live in today. Choose at least 2 specific quotes from the novel to analyze, right? If you're going to take that one, my suggestion to you would be a trifold poster, just like you do in science. So you can put enough pictures and stuff around. There's a lot of material to put on one piece of paper, right? What she's not going to take is a PowerPoint or Google Slides. She's not taking them. So basically, it's a newspaper article is a Google Doc. The book report's a Google Doc. The interview's a Google Doc, or this poster. And I would suggest on that poster doing one of those trifolds. It'll look sharp, right? Being able to breaking that down into what she's asked for here, right? It is going to be your first grade for both science and religion. So science is the flush one, and To Kill a Mockingbird is Mrs. Frost. If you have questions on what's expected of you, right? You get halfway through the book report and want to know if this is the right way to go, please email either one of those teachers, right? If it's flush, email Mrs. Bowers. If it's To Kill a Mockingbird, Mrs. Frost, right? All right. Mrs. Frost is right in the Gmail email address book. If you type in Frost, her name will come up. I think her first name is Tara Frost, right? All right. HSP SSAT summer work for incoming 8th graders. You're going to take either HSPT practice test or the SSAT, right? If you're going to go to an independent school, Ursuline, Nobles, Rivers, what are some of the other ones? They're not coming to me right now.
Dexter.
RL, Dexter, any of those independent to take the SAT, right? You don't need to study both of them, just one. So if you're going to go to an independent school, if you're going to apply to an independent school, you need to do the SSAT practice test 1, right? If you're going to just go to a Catholic school, I saw most of your goal setting, and that's why I've kind of written down who's taken what, right? From your goal setting session, right? Joe, you're on the fence on going to Xaverian. If you're still on the fence, you need to study this HSPT book, all right? I haven't talked to some of you on where you want to go, but from what you said, kind of list out what test you should be taking, all right? Most of you wanted to go to Bishop Bean or Cardinal Spellman, right? Those are just the high school placement test, right? Still need to do practice test 1. In that practice test, there's 5 subtests, right? They're all about 60 questions each, right? It's going to take you some time, right? So that's which one you should take. Expectations. Let's talk about this. For this week, some of you already done it. Like McKenna, looks like she's already done her percentages for this week, but complete at least 1% more of the mission each day, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. All I'm trying to do is get you to log on, make sure you know where to go, make sure you're doing the right mission, make sure I'm getting your information, right? A lot of kids sometimes don't change their mission over to the seventh grade mission, and they're still doing the 6th grade mission, but then they're not getting any credit for it. So I want to make sure everybody's doing the right mission, right? Email me if you have concerns. For the summer, I broke it down for you. You do what you want with this, but I broke this down for you. To Kill a Mockingbird is 336 pages. That's 34 pages per week for 10 weeks. There's only 11 weeks this summer, right? If I count after June 12th, you don't have to wait till after June 12th to start reading these books. Flush is 288 pages. That's 29 pages per week for 10 weeks. So if you add those up, that means you're reading about 60 pages a week if you did a little bit of each book. Again, I'm trying to give you some idea, right? Either way you look at it, right? Say I'm going to do To Kill a Mockingbird. I'm going to read that book first. Well, I can't read 34 pages a week. If I'm going to read them separately, I need to do 64 pages per week because I only have 5 weeks now. And then I got to do the other 5 weeks, I got to do Flush. That leaves you just enough time to do these 2 projects. Plan out at least a week for each project so you do well with it. All right? Again, it's a significant grade for you over the summer. I know that you have a zillion other things to do. Some of you guys are going to go off to camp. You're going to go visit grandparents, right? There's a zillion things you got going on. I'm trying to help you figure out how are you going to manage getting this summer work done so you're ready for September with all the other things you're going to do this summer, right? Khan Academy. Khan Academy, even though I'm asking you to do 50%, it still comes out to about 800 minutes, right? That means you would have to do 20 minutes a day, 5 days a week to get 50% done. Some of you do more. Some of you are able to bang out an hour at a time. Again, manage that. Figure that out in the rest of your day, right? You're supposed to read basically 60 pages a week. You got to do an hour a week of Khan Academy, right? And then you got to throw on HSPT or the SSAT practice test, right? A lot going on. Trying to level expectations. I want you to ask questions now. I want you to start coming up with a plan so that you can break this down so it's not overwhelming at the end of the summer. Just like some of you are having hard time with COVID learning and distance learning, we're almost down to the last week, and you guys some of you have a pile of work that you just blew off, just didn't get done, right? At this point, it's overwhelming and crushing at you, right? You don't even know where to start because there's so much work to get done, right? I'm trying to avoid that for you this summer so that you're set up well going into your 8th grade year. All right. Basically, if you're going to do this, you need to do one subtest every 2 weeks, right? One subtest every 2 weeks. When taking that test, there's a bubble Scantron in the book, tear it out, and you can start filling it in there, right? Don't time yourself. Don't get stressed about time when you're doing this, right? Just do it so you get used to the format of the questions and the type of questions, right? Before school starts, I will send you a Google form that you can fill in all the answers for me so that I know which ones we're going to practice on in September, right? What I do is I send you something similar to a Scantron, but you have to put each answer in. I look at which ones everybody got wrong, and those are the ones we practice on in September. So, is that my last one? That's my last one. I know. A lot. All right? A lot going on for you. I know you guys some of you are struggling with just getting through the end of this year, but I wanted to start ahead of time so you can start asking questions, right? Why don't you do Khan Academy so you can start asking questions if you're not quite sure what was expected of you, right? Those that have a hard time reading, make sure you buy the paper book and buy the audio book, right? What's nice about having the paper book for my people that don't like to read as much, you can write notes in the book. You can put stickies and say, oh, this is where the character or this character did something, right? So that you're kind of building your project as you're reading the book or listening to the book, right? Have an idea which project you want to do for your book. That way you can kind of think about the things you need from the book to make that happen, right? Again, trying to get you set up to have a great 8th grade, right? Anybody else show up? Anybody, no new people? Just trying to make sure. I got to reach out to the people that didn't show up. All right, questions. I know, a lot coming at you. I'll send this video to, I recorded this session so that those that didn't make it can watch it also, all right? Again, finish strong this year, right? Figure out how to do this work over the summer so you're getting, you're set up for September and you're strong for September, right? We'll be applying for schools before you know it, all right? So keep working at it. Who's that down there? Is that Rocco down there? Where's Rocco? I see Rocco's green plants. Where's Rocco? Hi, Rocco. Hi, everybody. Got to say hi to Rocco. Let me see if I can pin him. Hello, Rocco.
Hi.
Rocco, did you take pre-algebra last semester or last year?
Yes.
All right, just checking to see which class I'm going to put you in. All right. Welcome, Rocco. Who else showed up? Let's see. Did Justin show up? I didn't see Justin show up. Let's see. Where's my screen? Again, email me. I'm around all the time, right? I usually get back to you pretty quickly if you have concerns or questions. Don't leave this to the end of the summer, right? Come up with a plan for yourself. Write it on a whiteboard. Do something so that you can chip away at this all summer long. All right? Questions? Concerns? Emily? Yeah, I didn't understand you. You have to put it in the chat. Let's see. One more week, people. One more week, right? Got to hit it strong. Then we're gonna go right here. See, that's where I'm gonna be all summer. So I'll email you from the beach. Nice. The SSAT is a multiple choice test. Yes, it is. All right. Questions, concerns, email me.